You are listening to the Everything Goes podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Gus, and this is the Everything Goes podcast. What's up, Heidi?
What's up? What's up?
We're going to get right into it because there is no LA news. There's nothing going on. It's
Yes, there is.
LA news?
Oh, no, not LA. Maybe as a nation.
Okay, what's the nation news?
The stimulus passed.
And I really want to get into this because yesterday I was lying in my couch and I started asking these questions to you because I have a certain friend that's always posting these motivational speakers or just posts about motivational stuff. And I guess that works, and I guess that's for people, I guess, to look at and stuff. But my question was yesterday to you, did you ever need that? Why do people need that? I'm telling you, the reason I asked that is that you see it everywhere now. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, they're everywhere. Even on their post, any post. I mean, you see these quotes. Do they really work? And I know for a fact, that's why I asked you yesterday. It's because you have these life coaches, these motivational speakers. I have Josh that has a mentor, and I've never had any of that. And that was the question. Do they really work? What is it that you get from it?
Listen, I'm all about the personal development aspect. So yes, I do believe in everything you just said right now. But it's just like anything else in life. People, okay, I'm going to speak with me. I seek those motivations speakers, writers, podcasts, mentors, which are very few, and definitely the ones I pay out of pocket, spiritual advisors, things, therapy and everything, because there are moments where I feel completely lost. And even though you are my husband, my best friend, I confide in you in everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, and you don't judge me for any of it. But there are times where the way you come about giving me advice or just hearing me out is different than somebody that I don't know, if that makes sense to you.
Okay.
So to answer the question, because I know you always want me to like just straight out answer the question, and I can never do that. I always have to go like explain my point of view before I answer the question.
No, you could answer and then explain.
Okay, but my mind isn't wired that way. So to answer the question, do they really work? They do if you apply them.
Okay.
But like you always say that saying to me, Heidi, you could walk the dog to drink water, but the dog, what is it?
Oh, you could take the horse to drink water, but you can't always make them drink it though.
There you go. I could pay so many mentors, spiritual advisors. I could go to so many retreats about empowerment, about childhood abuse. I could go to, and I could read so many books. I could listen to so many podcasts. I could go to so many doctors. But at the end of the day, after all their input, all their insight, all their knowledge, at the end of the day, it's up to me and only me.
So
that can make those changes. So I feel like out of 1,000 or maybe millions of, help that I can seek, there might be one that can really, really like turn that fire in me or that light in me that actually will make a connection, like click.
Okay. You said that fire, and this is another question. I was sitting there and I was like, but don't people have that fire already? I had it. And the reason I tell you that I had it is because, I was living in poverty and I wanted to better myself. And one of the things I also brought up was these successful people like the Bill Gates, like The Rock. I told you that specifically The Rock, because he does a lot of that, what he went through in his story with the $7, and that's his slogan or whatever for his business. Because that's what he had, $7. It's a motivation when you're broke. When you're broke, it's about surviving. And I told you, that's my motivation. I didn't have nobody to motivate me to go get me another job. I just felt that, hey, this is what I don't want. I don't want to live like this, and I need to get out. So it's always about just living a better life. And I understand that success is different for other people, because we were talking about that too. So like these people that have success, like again, like the Steve Jobs, like the Bill Gates, like The Rock, and there's a lot of people, like even the guy that like Arnold Schwarzenegger, he has Conquer. He gives motivational speakers and all that stuff. There's all these stuff everywhere. Like my question is, they didn't need it. They had it within them already. So that's what I was asking. Is like, do these things really work? And I don't understand how people need motivation. And the reason I say that also is that now it's a thing where people actually pay. Like you said, you have to pay to find that thing that's gonna light that fire within you.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'm I don't know even how to say it. I have a lot of fucking issues, so sometimes I feel like I need to be dissected, to be redirected, because I'm like, oh, okay, cool, shit, I'm gonna do this, and then I get into it, and then halfway I'm like, I don't finish what I started. So those are like patterns that I'm trying to break, and I'm holding myself from a lot of achievements with so many stupid excuses that I'm like done with.
Yeah.
And one of them is fear. One of them is giving up the control of, because I'm a stay-at-home mom for so long, giving up that control of like, okay, who's going to take care of my kids after school? Well, right now, we've been in the pandemic, so we've been home. But like all those things go through my mind, and it's just crazy. But like you said, I think each generation is different.
Yeah.
You and I are 5 years apart. You and I were raised completely the opposite. I'm not trying to say that I come from like wealthy ass people, because no, my family struggled too. My mom's a single mom, but I was more privileged than you for sure.
She shielded
for
you.
sure. And I mean,
you were shielded.
When you tell me your stories, I feel fucking bad.
Well, I mean,
but so how do I go about it? Like, my mom always stored, like, every single day she drained, she told me, Heidi, school education. She never told me, oh, one day you're gonna get married, one day you're gonna have a family, and you're gonna maybe face this and this and this. No, never. It was never about me growing up having a family, being married. It was always me growing up becoming successful like she was, and well, in her own way, but I got the opposite. I got the family, but my career has been lingering forever.
Yeah.
So it's not it might sound like an excuse, but it's not an excuse. It's my own bullshit story that I tell myself.
Yeah, I think you hit it right on the dot.
And I get caught up in it with my emotions, And then, I mean, listen, I read the Bible. I see so many videos, so many therapists, spiritual healers, devotionals. I do a lot of those, journaling. And it's just, bottom line, my poor me situation, which is abandonment issues from both of my parents, like, have really affected me in my 30s. It never affected me before. I was always thriving, striving. My mom was always telling me, you don't have to work. And I was like, no, I'm working. I want to be like my friends. I want to work.
Well, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
I think I mentioned it yesterday, and I said it, and I kind of like mentioned this example again in my life, and I told you the reason why I did things and the reason why I had to do things. It was just survival.
Yeah, yours is strictly fucking survival.
No, but this is what I asked you yesterday. I go, you were shielded by a lot of that stuff. So you never, and I told you, once we got together and we moved in, prior to that, you said you never had any roadblocks in your life. You were living life in like this high, and this conservative way of doing stuff because you were shielded. So you had never had any?
I never had any financial worries like you did. Those were your roadblocks.
Yeah.
Financially.
You never had setbacks?
I never had to worry about money in my life. Never. Not even when my mom didn't have the money and her sister supported her financially.
Yeah.
When my dad left her, I never knew anything about it. I mean, I was 5 years old going to a private school. My dad bounced on my mom and her sisters helped her out financially. You know?
Yeah.
So I grew up, no matter what my mom went through financially, I never knew we were going through that financially.
Yeah.
Like, she never told me anything. It was just me seeing my mom work. Till this day, she's a workaholic. Till this day, she's, facing those obstacles left and right, and
Yeah.
I admire her for that. I truly do. But going back, your setbacks were financial setbacks. Since you can remember, even as a child, you have memories.
Oh, yeah.
Going to the Galleria, the Glendale Galleria, and
Window shopping.
shopping.
50 Cent has that
yeah,
a song like that.
like your Sunday would be going to the as you have told me previously, going to the Galleria Mall, Glendale Galleria, walking by like the toy stores.
We used to run into KB just to look around.
Yeah, and it was like a luxury eating a burger.
Yeah.
At Carl's Jr.
Yeah, it was.
Well, yeah, that was yours. But me, Carl's Jr. McDonald's was like nothing. Birthday parties were like nothing.
I mean,
buying toys were like nothing for us, me.
My
obstacles, now that everything hit me in my 30s, I'm 36 right now, are emotional obstacles. Like, I never processed my emotions, everything that I went through with my dad, my mom, growing up.
Yeah.
So not until I was 30, it was like a can of worms that opened, and I'm like, holy shit, what is this?
Yeah.
So everything was put on pause. And the way I coped with it was by ignoring it and just focusing on the one thing I knew that I could do, which is being a mom. And figuring out the role of being a mom.
Okay, let me stop you there.
Mm-hmm.
You said it's emotional. It's an emotional thing for you. Well, I think it's emotional for a lot of people.
Yeah. But we all cope differently.
Yeah, well, this is what I was going to ask you. And I think I told you yesterday, setbacks, how sometimes you have to persevere through some setbacks, and some people some people deal with it different. I had no choice. I had just either I get a job, get to work, and keep on going.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to just lay on the floor and cry.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Because when you're broke and you don't know what's going to happen and shit like that, there's fear. Or there's emotional stuff there.
Oh, yeah. I've seen it. You can't deal with it because your own body starts attacking you.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, I never had thought about how other people dealt with it.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was natural growing up in my world and dealing the stuff that I would deal with, because the majority of my friends had to deal with the same things. So I would look and compare to them. And I go, well, look, man, they're doing okay, and they could move up and move up in the world. I want to do that too. How do I get to doing that?
Yeah.
And I tell you this, and I think I told you that your parents were actually very well, like in the financial aspect, they came from down here, and they moved up in the world, and they did something like really, really well financially. You guys, they own businesses, and you guys had, but they worked from the bottom up.
Yeah.
So like that, so they knew what it is to, to live a very humbled life and move up in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the other word. There's another word I can't forget. I don't know. It's not persevering. I kept on telling you earlier. I told you in the room, and for some reason I forget this word.
Resilient? You were talking about resilient yesterday.
Yeah, to be resilient.
Yeah.
Let me write it down because I might forget it again. Resilient.
Yeah, I actually bought the book on Audible, and it's regarding one of Kobe Bryant's.
Yeah. Well,
Kobe Bryant's.
you know, it's you know, when I read those books like that, I never bought them because I always thought they were gonna motivate me. Never. So growing up, you know, being a young 20-year-old or 19-year-old, when at that time I had one job, and then in my early 20s, you know what, I wanted a car, so I went ahead and get another job. I was still going to school.
Yeah.
It's no different than what The Rock did. He was broke as hell after college. I don't think he even got his college degree. I don't know if he finished. He went to the NFL. He messed up. Just an example.
Mm-hmm.
He tried out for a couple of teams. He didn't make it. Then he was out of the league. He only had $7 and a mattress.
Yeah.
That's it. And a kid on the way. Now, this is where shit hits the fan with me. Because I mean, my success, and I told you, everybody has a different success.
Mm-hmm.
Like success story. My thing was just getting out of poverty, living a comfortable life. Do I want to be rich? Of course. Who wouldn't want to be rich?
Mm-hmm.
But like I compare myself to people like The Rock and how they, you know, and how they are now and what they did at those moments when they were fucking broke. They had no other way but to jump into the workforce. And I think he ended up being a wrestler, but he had to work for it. I remember his humble beginnings. That fool used to be like a bad guy. Nobody liked him at the beginning. He almost quit wrestling. So he was resilient. And I told you that.
Yeah.
That word, resilient. Because there's many times where I told you, man, I could have quit my job. Why did I have to quit school? Because I told you, I hear this all the time. Because I have no degree.
Mm-hmm.
You guys got to understand that people that don't have degrees and you get a certain type of job and you make a good living out of it, they tell you, oh, man, you lucky. I hear that all the time. Oh, you got great benefits. Oh, you do this. Oh, you got a nice car, whatever. And I told this to everybody. I don't know if you know what I've been through. All the surgeries I've had, like to this day. I told you yesterday, when I got hired where I work at, I had to go 3 different times. I got shut down twice, but I never gave up.
Yeah.
Never gave up. And I mean, it's a humble job. Don't get me wrong. It's not for everybody. You got to have the mentality. And I told you that.
Yeah.
That mentality. And I think this is where I'm going with this again. I still don't understand. Because back in the days, 20 years ago, we didn't have no motivational speakers. We didn't have no YouTube. We didn't have those, maybe an autobiography of maybe of an athlete. Mm-hmm. If you were into books. But back in the 70s, early 80s, when these people were like the Bill Gates, they did it because that was their thing.
Yeah.
They had to go and do it. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to do that. They never gave up. Athletes, sometimes they fuck up their knees one after another. I give an example of some running back. I forget his name. But he fucked up his knee and then he was like, fuck, dude. Tore his ACL, MCL. And then he had reconstructive knee surgery. And you have to go through the rehab and you have to do it again. And yeah, they make good money. But they put their health, their body, their mind. You know how it is when you have surgery. It fucks up with your mind. It's not just physical. It's a mind thing. And then you get out there again and you fuck it up again. And you're like, fuck. You have to go all over again. It's a whole 8-month process. Mm-hmm. The surgery, the fucking rehab, and getting your mind right, get your body right again to be an athlete, specifically a professional. And then it happens again. By then, most people would just quit. They're like, fuck this shit. And what happens? Player does it all over again, gets himself, because I guarantee you, when you're down like that, you're like, fuck this. All the bad emotions come through your head. Like me. I had 3 knee surgeries. And the third one was the worst one. One of the worst pains ever. And I thought I'd been through everything. I was like, oh, it's not going to be as bad. I already had 2. The third one was, oh my God, I almost died of pain.
Yeah, I remember.
But those are tough times. Mm-hmm. But never did I think, oh, I'm going to quit my job. Never. I couldn't. So this is, again, the question. All that resiliency, all those obstacles. And a lot of them, and I tell you this, this is just my personal opinion. People that watch that need life coaches or that don't have that fire from within right now, mm-hmm. or when you're young, mm-hmm. I just can't relate. I cannot.
Yeah, we can. I'm your wife, and I'm that person.
I can't.
You don't understand why I don't have the same
Fire?
mentality that you do.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
But,
And that's fine.
but that's why I asked
You don't have to.
We started having this conversation yesterday,
Yeah.
and I was like,
I know
what?
we were up till like 3 a.m.
I was
talking.
like, what? Because I asked you, hey, when did you have that fight? When did you remember having that motivation? And you're like, oh, well, not until I became a mom or something. You said that. And I was like, what?
No, I didn't.
No, you said something like that. And I asked
No.
you, yes, you did. And I asked you, you didn't have it before?
No, I told you when I was doing journalism.
No. And this is the difference between obstacles. I told that's an obstacle. The goal should still be the same. That's what I told you. I go, what changed? You go, well, you came into my life. Okay, but that's just, the goal should have still been the same. And then you told me, well, I had kids. The goal, and I go, the goal, and you told me, yeah, you're right. It should have been, but I didn't see it that way. You said something like that towards me.
Yeah, I didn't choose me.
No, no, this is the difference.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And this is the thing. I think this is why.
This is why we go back and forth, because like I don't get you and you don't get me.
No, but I read one of those. I don't know if it was Dupree or Josh that put this out, and I read it to you. Yes, blame. It says something about blame me. This is what the thing said.
Mm-hmm.
Blame me for not achieving my life goal.
Mm-hmm.
I can't blame my wife. Can't blame my kids. But the goal still should have been the same. I blame me. That's what it said, or something like that.
Yeah, well, I can't blame me, because if I blame me, then there would be no you and me.
No, but see, that's the difference. That's what I don't understand.
That's what I don't understand either.
No, but that's why we started
That's why we started having the conversation.
And I understood that, because he makes no excuses. That's why I told you.
I don't want to get into gender roles, but it's a lot easier for men to speak like that.
No, but you know what?
Than a woman.
Now that I think about it, I think it was a girl that said it.
No.
It was a girl.
No.
Because it said something about...
I think you're talking about right now the TikTok video that came up on my feed.
No, I don't have TikTok.
Of course you don't, but I showed you. And then you overheard the TikTok video that came up, and you were like, exactly.
And I showed you what it said. It said it said something about having kids, being a wife, or something like that. But the goal was still achieved. And that's why we talk. And I asked you, hey, because you bring all this up. It's like, oh, because of you, Gus, or because we have kids. And I told you, like, I don't understand it, and maybe I get your frustrations that it didn't work out the way you wanted it. But shouldn't it have been the same goal no matter what? And you told me, no.
If I knew then what I know now, which is always put yourself first, a lot of things would be different.
No, but that's not the thing. And I told you, there's always in life, there's always obstacles. Like I just gave you
I'm not getting through you. And it's going to be like that, and it's fine.
No, well, that's good though. I want to hear why. Why do you have to...
I'm explaining and you keep on shutting it down.
But
I get what you're saying. The goal, no matter what the goal is, if the goal is for 2021 to raise $20,000 for whatever reason, if that's the goal, this is an example. No matter what comes at you, you should still focus within that goal to achieve that goal, right? No matter what happens. Instead of blaming or excusing yourself for your actions. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, I lost my job. Oh, the kids because of the pandemic. Oh, I don't know. I can't even think of excuses right now. But the whole point that you're trying to explain to me for me to understand, and I understand it, but I don't agree with it, is if it's the kids, find a babysitter to you still achieve that goal to raise those $20,000 at the end of the year, right?
Well, figure it out. Yeah, you got to figure it out.
Yeah, to figure it out.
Yeah.
I get it. And many people have the ability to do that. They have the mindset to do that. I don't. I don't, because it goes back to, and which is what I'm learning, and it's a process, I was raised by my mom, right? So how do I explain it? So once my mom got the opportunity of the business, she committed 100% to the business, and she figured it out how to deal with me. People would babysit me. So she never had to worry about me in that aspect because I was taken care of, right?
Yeah.
And she accomplished her goal within that business.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So then she accomplished that goal, which is your mindset. Yours, Gus.
Yeah.
Mine's the opposite because...
Let me speak now. And don't get me wrong. This is what I just got to say about that. And I understand your point. But, and I told you, I think we put our roadblocks. We do it ourselves.
Be present in my children's life.
Okay. It's not that I'm attacking. I'm just going back and forth.
No. I don't feel you're attacking me because we talk about this all the day. I mean, all the time.
I asked you this too. And I think I asked you yesterday, when was the first time you felt there was a roadblock? Not necessarily just you were like the first time there was a tough times and you're like, holy shit, how do I deal with this? And you told me, I think it was the first time when we were going, we had just maybe like 2 years into our marriage or something like that. And it was some tough times, man.
Yeah, that was really tough.
And you told me, damn, Gus,
I was ready to throw in the towel.
Yeah, because it was hard.
Yeah.
But it was some hard time. I was having like health issues. I didn't know how to deal with them. It wasn't working. I was like, fuck. Like all those like things you don't. I'm in my late 20s and I'm getting all these medical issues. I was like, what the fuck's going on? Like I couldn't deal with that.
Yeah.
So imagine I'm in my prime, and when you're in 20s, man, you're in your prime, man. But I was having all these setbacks, and I could have said, fuck this shit, la. And I could have just, because there's people like that get frustrated and they're like, say, fuck this.
Yeah.
They do. They can't just, some people are just, they give up like that real quick. And I told you at the time, I think, and I think you had just gotten pregnant too. So all this is like, I couldn't put myself in that. Yes, I was scared. I had to do something. I had to figure out something. But it's just, again, it's about survival, about putting food on the table, all that shit.
Yeah.
But the goal was still the same. All these little obstacles that I put. I always say this. I never blame anybody else. I put it myself. I go, that shit, I could have avoided it, but you know what? I put it there. I have to deal with it now. That's the way I've always dealt with stuff. I don't blame anybody else. And I tell myself, like, about school, and that's another thing. When it came to school, I wasn't the greatest student. I didn't put much effort into it. Because it was about work. And my biggest regret is not finishing school. So that's on me. I don't put it on my pops. Nah, man, that's on me. I should have figured it out. Just like the way I figured out work.
Yeah.
I should have figured it. I told you, why do people put roadblocks? Some people put roadblocks and they blame the roadblocks. Instead of, again, I'm going to go to football. If I want to score a touchdown, they're not just going to let me walk in.
Yeah.
If I want to score a touchdown, there are going to be all these people flying at me. I got to move around. Juke, do this, do that. There's certain people that are really good at football and they get in real easy. Just like some successful people. Some successful people, their craft, they dedicate it and they became really good at it and they're successful in life. There's other people like my ass that had to struggle to find a balance because I had no direction. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had no direction. I told you my parents were not very influential because they didn't really tell me what to do. I was in life like, fuck. I was like living in this bubble. The only thing I could cling on to is that I did not want to live the way I was living in a little old pink house that was fucking breaking down, so small. I didn't want to live like that. I used to look at my peers or my friends.
And it wasn't even your guys' house. You guys were renting.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That was my motivation. Life, just in general. This is real life.
Yeah, and you come a long way.
No, but...
And you're still going to achieve more.
But this is the thing.
Yeah.
And I told you, the goal doesn't stop. The goal is, I'm in my early 40s. The goal has not stopped. no matter what, where I've been through, going back and all that, I told you the goal is to have a home.
Yeah.
The goal has not stopped, no matter what has been put in my way. And there's stuff that I put there. Now I just got to just jump over that and figure it out. How do I get up through that obstacle?
Yeah.
And then I told you, people don't talk about persevering, how to be resilient. All I hear is, not to be fucked up, but excuses, because there is no excuse. And I tell my son this all the time, figure it out.
Yeah. You do.
And guess what he does? He looks at it. It's like a math problem. You kind of, you look at it, you problem solve it, you think about it, and then you make a goal, and then you go at it.
Yeah.
This is why we started talking about this conversation yesterday.
Yeah, and we always do, which is fine. And I'm just a crier. I cry for everything. But anyways, yes, I agree with what you're saying, but then there's also some truth to what I'm saying. And I'm just saying that, and again, I don't want to do the whole gender, but the whole gender thing. But yes, it is easier for men to go ahead and focus and be more resilient in achieving their goals than women that have children. If I would be single, sorry, not single, but if I would not have my children, there really should be no excuses.
What would happen? Now, take me out of this picture.
Mm-hmm.
Take me out. How about if I wouldn't be in this world anymore? Now what?
Yeah, we've spoken about it.
What would you do? You would do whatever has to be done.
Whatever has to be done.
Exactly.
For sure.
And I mean, shouldn't you have that in your head no matter what? Like that same attitude, even if I'm around?
Yes. But since I rely on you financially, I could just devote myself more to my children. Because there's going to be the consequences. If, God forbid, if you're not here anymore in this world and it's just me and the boys, mom's not going to be there anymore.
And I get it. But the thing is making sure they have a roof, making sure they have food on the table and all that stuff. Like,
yeah. And I guess since you always provided that, that's like something I don't have to worry about.
This is why I think that's the question that I told you. You had never felt that? Never felt like you had tough times? And you told me, no.
No.
And to me, it was mind-boggling when you said that to me.
Yeah. Because
I grew up with a bunch of, like in apartments, like roach motels and stuff like that.
I mean, not that I was a spoiled brat, but I mean, if my mom couldn't give me what I wanted at the moment, my aunts would.
You were shielded.
Yeah.
You were shielded. And I guess that's what we're doing.
But that's not my fault. It's
the
way I was raised.
It's not. And I guess that's what, our kids are growing up like that. They're being shielded right now because I shield them, you shield them of the adult world.
But I speak to them.
I was not shielded from
I talk to them about money. When they do the recycling, because I take them, they get their $10, their $12. They go halfers, and they right away they want to spend it. And I tell them, I tell them, for example, if I take you to Starbucks right now, you can out of your $6, you're gonna spend about $4.
Yeah.
How many do you have left? So Isaac does the math, right? Since he's the oldest, and then he goes, "Oh no, I don't want to spend it anymore, Mom. I'll just put it in my piggy bank."
I think, you know what?
My mom never told me that.
No, but you see, you know what? I mean, it's good that you see the world that way because I guess you relate to my kids now.
I remember my mom when I turned 18, she straight up just gave me a debit card, a credit card, and here you go, Heidi. Whenever you need it, here's the debit card. Emergencies only, use the credit card.
Were you?
Sometimes. And then any little shopping spree, I would have to notify her.
You were like, no.
And any shopping spree with the Amex, I would have to notify her. But Yeah.
So we've been having these conversations the last couple weeks. I think even Josh, you know,
These are all the deep conversations we have. That's why I love us. I love our relationship because it's not just fun and games always. We always have these deep conversations. Even the dark ones, the ones that we kind of get like uncomfortable with.
Yeah, because we have to push ourselves.
Yeah, and I love it.
Sometimes like if some, and this is one of the things I tell you, if I don't tell you, who will?
True. Yeah.
You tell me like, hey, if I don't tell you, they're gonna tell you eventually, somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd rather tell you first.
Yeah.
Because it's true. Nobody likes being told something that they don't want to see sometimes.
Yeah.
That it's there and you just don't want to see it.
Yeah. But I just feel like everybody's way of learning experience of life is different.
Yeah. Yeah.
So never like the one thing I've learned is I shouldn't compare with myself with like my best friend.
Yeah.
Or like with my cousins or with anybody in general, with your sisters.
Yeah.
Or with even my own mom.
Exactly. Now, you said do
like
not.
I have to figure out, like who's Heidi, what's best for Heidi, and what Heidi should like try to fix and learn and all that stuff.
You mentioned kind of looking over to the other side and kind of like comparing yourself to other people or family members or people that are successful. That's fine. But you cannot compare yourself to them because everybody has a different journey.
Yeah.
Somebody had it easier. Some of us have gotten it really hard. When I met you, I used to tell you the story. I think I still tell you.
I still don't know how we ended up together. But we did.
But this is one of the stories I tell you.
Totally the opposite of each other.
People that are successful.
Yeah.
I used to go up to them and we would talk and I was like, hey, how'd you start doing what you're doing, bro? Like, and they would, you know what? I started this. It was hard for a fucking couple of years and boom.
Yeah.
Or I went to school or something like that. Or how did you become so and so? How did you get an office like here? Well, I went to school and then I went to this school and then so and so. The bottom line is that this is what I figured. I always thought that these people, yes, they had it easier than me.
Yeah.
But guess what? The root of everything was hard work.
Yeah.
They worked motherfucking hard to get what they were at. Yeah, well, they had easier. They had it easy. They had it easier at that time. And I used to be like, fuck, I need to get to where these people are at. That's what I would just tell myself. Like, I need to go back to school, man. I need to go back to school and do something easier because at the time I was only getting paid a certain amount. And I was like, fuck, dude, this is not even a fraction of what these people are making. I told you at one point in the early 2000s, I think the average median household, like the average salary or whatever of a person in the early 2000s was like 44 grand. Mm-hmm. 44,000. At that time, the minimum wage in California was less than $8. It was probably like $5 or $6. Mm-hmm. I know because I remember working for it. I know Dupree remembers too. We used to get paid like in late 90s, maybe like $5 an hour. That was minimum wage.
Yeah.
So when I used to do taxes, because we were talking about taxes yesterday, I told you, man, at one point in my life, the most I used to make with 2 jobs and all that shit was like $17,000 in the late 90s. And I was like, fuck, man, that's nothing. Nothing. Mm-hmm. What I tell you yesterday also, I go, dude, I look at my checks now. I'm over that in the first 6 weeks, I told you. And at one point in my life.
The first 6 weeks of the year.
Exactly.
You're over.
So I was like, what the?
You're like, over. Mm-hmm.
So it's just mind blowing. It's like, fuck, man. That's what we started talking with this conversation.
Yeah.
And a lot of my it's because I put those fucking roadblocks in. I fucked up in school. I fucked up. I didn't finish.
Well, in your generation, school was very important. In my generation now, and I think even our kids, having an education, like getting a diploma is not going to be as important.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't want to like say school isn't important. It's good. Learning is always good, you guys, no matter what you do. But now, like the present and the future, it's a lot about, going about you creating your own thing, you being different than your competition. You still can be in the same industry, but you being who you are is what's gonna attract your consumers.
We were also talking how we.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that it's up to you and only you to make and build your own financial wealth, whatever that means to you.
Yeah.
Because to some people, making $50,000 a year is the best.
Well, it's comfortable sometimes.
Not here in California.
No, not in California. No,
not at all. But and to some people, like you set goals every year. Heidi, this year, I'm gonna make at least $10,000 more than what I did last year. You always set those goals and you always achieve them.
It's not easy though.
It's not. No.
It's a fucking grind.
I'm not saying it's easy. No, not at all. But what I'm saying is like your own persona makes you set those goals for you to achieve.
Yeah. We were at Josh's house maybe like a week ago, and we were talking about. I think he said something about what it takes. He said a story about this lady owning a salon,
a nail shop. It's a nail shop,
and that the lady worked like these outrageous amount of time.
Yeah.
At her salon, and he mentioned that someone spoke about it. He's like, "Oh man, I can't do that. Yeah, that's too much time.
She can't even like enjoy her break, her food.
Yeah, but the person he was telling that story to kind of came back to him and said like, "Oh, I wouldn't be able to do that.
I'd rather be poor
than go through
do
that.
that. Yeah.
See, and he and all of us agreed. We're like, what the hell? We were all at like, what?
Mm-hmm.
No, but that's what it takes. Mm-hmm. Hard work. That's what it takes.
Yeah.
People don't. This is the thing, and and this is where we were talking about. Like, I understand why some people that are successful get pissed off with the poor people, because some poor people take advantage of the system.
Mm-hmm.
Don't understand, like, why am I working my ass off with these people fucking being taken care of? I had another conversation is that some of these people live in this circle and this cycle that they know of. So they put limitations to their life. I'll give you an example. I told you about somebody not trying to make enough money so they could stay living at a
government housing. Yeah.
And I was like, what? Just think about that.
To each their own, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, person's cool as hell, but you put your limitations there, and most of us are like, what the F?
Yeah.
You have a family, bro. Wouldn't you want to get out of the ghetto?
Yeah. Like, my limitations that I put myself is, having that control of me being present in my children's daily lives from the moment they wake up to the moment they go to bed, So I'm just like,
but do you
like, I get little panic attacks. Like, I don't know.
But you can't blame me, or you can't blame the kids for your job search or your jobs and stuff like that.
No, I get so many offers, and I always turn them down. Because I'm just like, with Gus's fucked up schedule, who's gonna pick up the kids on time?
But
who's gonna, feed them or their snacks or their practices at after school practices with their sports, and it's just a little. But I'm coming to the conclusion
that most parents that have kids deal with that. That's a daily life. Yeah. And I told you my schedule. Yes, in the morning I wouldn't be present.
Like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to be judgmental or anything, but when our oldest, when we pulled him out of his current school, which is a private school, and we took him out to the public school, I would see like little kids like younger than him or like him, like walking home, and I'm just like, what?
I walked home.
Yeah, but it's different times.
Yes, I get you. I understand.
It's different times. Like, I can't me, Heidi, I can live with that.
Okay, see, you wouldn't have to. I told you my schedule allows me to get up from my sleep or my nap and go pick them up.
Yeah, it's gonna be you're gonna be barely like 2 hours in your sleep, and then the alarm's gonna ring, and you're gonna have to go get them.
Yeah, but I used to do that. Now, I mean, I sleep better because everybody's at home now. I don't know if you noticed that, but I used to do that. Even here, I was like, oh God, it takes 30 minutes in, out, I'm back, and then I jump back in bed. Yeah, it's a fucked up thing, but you know what? That's what I chose. That's what I do.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, we're going in circles, but I'm slowly getting there. I feel a little bit more comfortable, more at ease, knowing that our boys are a little bit older. You know, they're not little anymore, like in kindergarten or preschool.
Yeah.
They're a little bit older. Isaac has what? He's about to finish 4th grade. Lucas is about to finish kindergarten. So I feel more at ease that they're able to vocalize if anything should happen. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
I don't know if I'm making sense, but I'm getting there in the comfort zone where like, okay, I could breathe. They're older. You know, Gus picks them up. They're gonna be able. Gus goes back to sleep. They're gonna be able to grab a snack. They're already learning how to reheat food in the microwave. Like I worry about those things. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, they're gonna be fine. They could do that now on their own. They could easily grab a drink, whatever, until I get home from work, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable now. So I'm excited to what's to come. I know good things are coming.
But isn't that like an everyday life for most people?
Yes, for most people that don't have the privilege that I do. Again, I rely on you a lot.
Yeah. But
you rely on me to take care of the household, take care of the boys, and I rely on you financially.
Yeah, but this is what I say, and nobody likes change, but change.
I'm looking forward to change. I don't know why.
Yeah, but you're stating some stuff, and then you're going back on.
No. I'm stating that I have come to the conclusion that I'm feeling a little bit better about stepping out into the world, having my normal, job hours,
like 9 to 5,
and not having to have that anxiety that I would get thinking about my kids.
Is it because, and this is,
and I'm saying it's because they're older.
I think because I don't remember you being like this very often until maybe like the pandemic started hitting. When you started staying home, you started overthinking. Is it overthinking that you're doing?
Maybe.
Because that's what people do when they overthink. They start getting anxiety attacks.
No, but all these things.
Panic attacks and all this shit. It's because they're overthinking.
See, with our firstborn, I always had help. I always had your mom, your sisters, or the grandma. Your grandma. I used to get up and go to work.
Yeah.
But with our second child, we were alone.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I see your point. I get it. But then I could always, I guarantee you there's people out there like, well, I do it.
Yeah.
There's going to be like single parents, single
moms.
moms.
A lot of people might be listening to me and calling out bullshit, Heidi.
Yeah, there's single moms that do it.
And it's fine. It's fine. My mom's one of those moms. My mom was a single mom. She focused on work. And she made sure that I was taken care of, even if that meant not seeing me. And she made peace with it, and she's okay with it till this day.
Yeah, but okay. This is what I have to say about when you first get into work. When you first get to work, yes, I get it. There's gonna be a point in time where you can't take days off. You can't go here. You can't go there. But eventually, there's gonna come a point where you get a little comfortable. You get a little leeway at work. Yeah, I'm a mom. I'm this and that. I gotta go. I need some time. Most jobs do that, especially if you're a mom.
I don't know. It depends.
Yeah, but when you get to that job,
yeah,
you told me last time, hey, you let them know that you need these days off, and they should accommodate you. You told me that.
Yeah, that's when you're going to a job interview.
You let them know that
when you're going to a job interview, you let them know in advance these dates, I already had them. I have them. I don't know, reserved, selected. I'm not going to be available. So if you're okay with it, to make an exception, I am willing to start working right away.
Yeah.
And it's up to the boss or the interviewer to take it or leave it.
Yeah. But there's jobs that have PTO, that you have personal time. You accumulate personal time, and that's how you do it. Like, you need to leave, whatever. But the thing is that there should be no. I think where I'm going is there shouldn't be any roadblocks that you put yourself. I guarantee the world's gonna put roadblocks there, no matter what. But we shouldn't be putting our own roadblocks. Like, we shouldn't be putting, oh, I couldn't, or I this or that.
I just wish you would be a woman, Gus.
No, but see,
at times. Because coming from a man's mindset perspective, it's a whole different.
No, but you're seeing it through the mom side. We're not talking about my kids right now. We're talking about just general goals.
If I wouldn't have it, I should have zero excuses.
And
get up every day and go to work. And this like I used to.
And I asked you this question. We didn't get married. Our first kid didn't show up till 3 years. 3 years later.
Yeah.
3 years later.
Yeah.
And even before that, I mean, we got married. I was 28. I think you had just turned 23 or something like that.
Yeah.
What happened before that? You get me? You had 18. You had 5 years out of high school before we got married.
Yeah.
So this is why I asked you that question yesterday. I go, hey, you never had that fire? Like, let's get this done. Let's do this. Let's do
My
that.
focus was just to finish school, and then I have always helped my mom in her business. I've always worked for her.
And another question I asked you yesterday. You don't think your mom kind of like the stuff that you had to do for the restaurant kind of held you back also?
Always, till this day too, sometimes. And that's when when we had our second baby, I had to learn to put boundaries.
Detach from that. You still haven't detached. That's something I still tell you. You got to detach from it sometimes.
It's just so hard to know that I can make the time to help my mom, versus me saying, no, I refuse to. You figure it out. You hire another accountant.
The reason
you hire somebody else.
Also, just to put it in context, it's not.
I mean, I could do it.
Okay, that's the thing.
I could do it.
I'm gonna put
and I have some stuff I have changed.
Well, let me put it in context for the people that are listening. The reason I say that is because you say that, yeah, who wouldn't want to help? Of course, who wouldn't want to help our parents? The difference is that you come back with some of this negative vibe and you come so frustrated with your mom.
Oh, because we bump heads a lot.
Exactly.
She has a style of running her business, and I have the style of going in order to what I've been taught of running the business.
Okay, this is where I say most people would say, you don't like the way I do things, or you like to do a certain way. I just can't deal with this, and I'm sorry. But
yeah, so that's why I don't do management. I strictly do accounting. In accounting,
and yet,
nobody bothers me. Nobody does anything.
And yet your mom still gives you bad vibes sometimes. You're like, God, my mom. You come back like that.
Oh, because, listen, she has, not that I'm making excuses, but she has a boss mentality. When she snaps her fingers, this is my command, do it. Right? This whole pandemic, a lot of, like, for example, when the grants were starting to be offered for small businesses, I jumped on it. You know, I'm the accountant of the business. I know exactly what the application is going to ask.
No.
I know the numbers. I know everything. So I applied when they opened, when the applications went online and stuff. And my mom every single day was like, did you apply? Did you do it right? Have you heard back from them? It's like, oh, my friend says this. my friend says, oh, and in the news, this is what they're saying. And it's like, like I get frustrated because I have so much control that I don't have the entire control. The only thing I could have done at that time when the applications became available to small businesses is apply. The rest was on the other people's hands.
I get you.
My mom doesn't understand that.
Because she has a certain way of doing things.
My mom is like, okay, so you applied, so then why haven't you received a response? Because I'm not the only business that's applying for this grant or this loan. You're not the only restaurant in the nation.
No, I get it.
In the state of California.
But she's a boss lady.
That's what I'm saying. So so going back to what you said, that I come out like frustrated with that we bump heads. Yes, for those circumstances. That's just an example.
I think most people would just say, you know what? Cut ties. Can't deal with it? Don't do it. And this is something I told you yesterday. I truly don't try to get not involved because
you're very respectful.
At the end, it's just you and your mom, and I get it. I guess that's the I feel thing. Your frustration. I feel it because you come home and I'm like, ugh, like
and I have to sage myself, and
I'm like, why you do it then?
Let it go. You know.
I tell myself, what do you like? I want to tell you, like, why do you do it? Why do you put up with it and don't deal with it? Like,
part of the reason is what you just said right now. It's always been you and your mom. It's always been me and my mom. You guys, I don't remember how or what or when, but since I have memory, I've always translated for my mom. I don't know. Don't ask me how, but I would always pay her bills.
Can I? No,
I took care of everything for her.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Just because it popped into my head.
Yeah.
So I listen to when I'm doing the editing on the podcast, and I have you on. You always bring your mom. Mm-hmm. It's like you guys are connected like this, like to the hip.
Yeah.
A lot of the negativity, you bring everything. You can't work with her. You have to work with her, but you blame her. She blames you, and
it's like this toxic relationship.
It is.
I know.
It is.
Yeah, my spiritual advisor has told me I need to cut ties.
Now that you brought that up, what is a spiritual advisor? What the hell do they do? Is this another type of form?
It's like a therapist. A therapist,
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Honestly. I just don't deal with that. I mean, I've heard like the motivational
So
speaker.
A therapist, you sit down, they take notes of whatever you're saying, and they assign homework. Okay. Spiritual advisor, depending what you're going for, that could be one part of the session, along with aligning your chakras or doing sound baths. And I know you're not like into that, and that's fine. Or maybe you're not aware of it.
I'm into spirituality because I think I believe more of that, but I'm not into like that, your aura, your chakra.
Well, I am definitely. So
your voodoo.
No, not voodoo.
I'm kidding.
No, I don't do none of that. No dark stuff, no negative stuff, only light. So that's the difference. So,
okay, what does the spiritual advisor tell you that you need to, that you don't already know? Like, what is it that the person helps you with? Your spirit? What is it?
It's a lot of things.
It clears your mind. Does it clear your spirit?
Your chakras are, so when your chakras are not aligned, they align them for you.
What do you mean it's not aligned? I don't understand.
So for example, if you have a hard time of speaking up, they align your throat chakra. When you have a hard time.
Never even heard of that.
Yes, it's a whole thing.
Maybe I got to get her on the podcast so you could clear my throat.
Well, we need to get aligned our sex life. That's what we need to get aligned.
It's easy. Just throw my other kid over there to his bed.
Send him.
Send him to his bed.
Oh my gosh.
We gotta have another talk on the spirituality and all this stuff.
I'm actually thinking of asking Monica if she would do the podcast with us.
Okay.
But anyways, yeah, I do. I mean, I have not cut ties with my mom completely. But I have put boundaries And at the beginning, she would hate it. She would hang up on me.
No.
She would get mad at me.
You know, it's hard.
But she learned.
You know what?
She learned that I'm not always on speed dial for her.
You know what?
I have. You know, at the time, I had a newborn and a 4-year-old.
You know why I guess I don't get involved with you and your mom? Can I tell you why?
I think you've always told me why.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
This is the reality of it.
Yeah.
Because I can relate to the way she works. She's a fucking hard worker. You showed me a picture of her yesterday on a video monitor.
Yeah.
Of her working like at 1 a.m.
Yeah, and she was there from 8 o'clock in the morning already.
I understand that type of mentality.
So that's 13 hours on her feet working.
I could understand that type. I give mad respect to people that do that. Like fucking.
And
like,
I tell her that you respect her.
Like people don't understand that. It's out. Work-wise, I respect her because you gotta.
No, she's a fucking badass. I'm telling you, I respect her too.
Well, that you said
work-wise, she is the shit.
Okay, but successful in life, it's supposed to be like a balance.
She knows no balance.
Okay, but that's the thing. She's successful.
That's my generation.
Yeah. No.
Learning balance.
We've learned. I felt like I've learned balance because I was like that. But you know what? This is why I tell you. I respect her when it comes to work.
I know you tell me, damn, Heidi, I don't know how your mom does it. And you always told me too. And you could correct me if I'm wrong, but you've always told me in the past, gosh, Heidi, I work when my knees are fucking killing me. To keep myself going, I think about your mom. Yeah,
like people like that. You have to think about people like that because
yeah,
if they could do it.
Here's this 67-year-old woman fucking working day in, day out, you know?
It's a fucking grind.
I could do it too.
Well,
you tell me that all the time.
It's because I have no sympathy for fucking lazy ass people. I don't. That's the mentality that I think the majority, even though those people that go out and motivational speaker, deep down inside, they know the truth. They tell you like the core of it is hard work.
Yeah, the Bible says it. It's in the Bible. The Bible says the only way you could have wealth is by work. And you know, I'm really bad at memorizing the books and the verses and the chapters, but yeah, it's in there.
Well, that's the thing.
The Bible says it. The only way to grow wealth is, well, one of the ways is work. You can't take the shortcut way.
Well, that's the thing.
The cheating way. There's no. It could be temporarily, but in the long run, it's not going to work out.
Well, that's the thing. That's exactly what you said. This is how we're going to end this podcast because we were talking about hard work, and I said the core of all those people that have motivational speakers, life coaches, and mentors. Guess what? The main thing, the core, hard work, and you said at the end of it, nothing comes easy. And there's no cheating your way through it. Because there's people that want it the easy way.
Yeah.
I already came to my conclusion because I think I told Josh before, like, you know what, when I was young, I wanted it now. So I was used to get frustrated. Yeah, it's just frustration, but you have to deal with it. That's the way it is. If it were that easy, then everybody be rich. Mm-hmm. Everybody be successful. It's the people that don't quit.
Yeah, you got to do your time, I guess.
Yeah, sometimes some people get it easier. Some people have to fucking jump through holes and fucking mountains and shit like that. But guess what? At the end, depending on what you are looking for, what your success story, I guess, because everybody's success story is different. Mine is I'm living it. This is what I wanted. I was never looking for wealth, like be filthy rich. Would it be nice? Yes, but I've never asked for that. I want to live comfortable. I want to be nice. I want to take vacation. I just don't want to, like, if the wealth comes, I'll take it. But it's nothing that I was always like, oh, I got to get it. Like, oh, no matter what, I got to be a fucking actor and make millions of dollars. No. I've never asked for that. But some people do. But the core of it is hard work. Hard work. And the people that kind of give up all the time, jump job to job or shit like that because they don't want to work their way up. Sometimes you have to work from the bottom all the way up. The Amazon guy. I told you, remember we were talking about this examples?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody would like fucking laugh at him because he started his Jeff Bezos started selling books out of his garage. with a fucking little flag on the back that said Amazon. People were like, what the hell are they going to be fucking buying books off the online?
Mm-hmm.
And he one of the richest guys.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of the guys, yes, I understand. People don't have to go to college anymore to become fucking millionaires. Tesla, the guy, Elon Musk.
Just be innovators.
Bill Gates. But guess what? They work fucking hard. They worked fucking 14, 15-hour days coding, doing all this shit in their garages. They stuck with it. They worked hard, and they profited off that. That's the core. I think it's a lot of people, it's just believing in yourself. Knowing that you're going to get through these tough times and hard times and not taking the easy way out. I think that's the reality. That's why I asked you, I go, damn, why do people need these motivational speakers? Shouldn't they have that already? And I get it. You told me, I was like, hey, you lived a different life, Gus.
Yeah.
My back was against the wall.
You were a survivor.
But there's a lot more people like that.
Yeah. The majority.
But there's people that are poor and they still want to live in poor, like in poverty.
Yeah.
There's people in wealth, people that are wealthy, they know the truth. You know, to keep their wealth, they still got to work hard. Mm-hmm. CEOs, they work 12-hour days. Mm-hmm. Athletes, everybody's, oh man, they got rich. Guess what? They're in there fucking working out at, like Kobe. Before the game, after the game, he was there 10-hour days, no matter what.
That book is really good. The Resilient book.
People don't understand what it takes. People think it's easy, because what they see on TV.
No, not at all.
Even doing YouTube videos. You know how long it takes to just fucking edit?
Or doing your podcast.
Come with content. Yes.
Look at you. You started. It's something you always wanted to do. You did it. You started. At the beginning, it's like a lot of people were showing up. And then at the end of the day, since it's still your fire, it's still something you look forward to. You still do it.
But the pandemic had something to do with that also. I just can't bring anybody in. I think most people, if I would have asked, they would come in, but I just don't want to bring them in just because,
Yeah.
What's going on?
No. I'm not speaking like, no. But I don't think so. But you show up for you.
Yeah, no, what I
do.
do.
This podcast is something that, like you told me yesterday when we were talking. It's something you look forward to because it's a distraction. It releases stress. It's something that you enjoy doing.
Yeah, I think most of us.
You enjoy doing this.
It's my
and that's why you've 2 years?
Almost. Like next month or something, like next week or 2 weeks from now. So yeah, I think we started in April, late March. I think it was late March.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but the thing is that it's like my therapy. I whatever I feel at that moment, like my first world problems or my third world problems or whatever. First world,
Yeah.
Because we're living in America.
Your bullshit problems.
Yes, our bullshit problems, like yeah, and somebody cut me off. Wow, now I'm pissed off or something like that. Little. This is my thing. This is the way I get out of it. But going back, just to finish it off, because I wanted to do an hour podcast and we did over an hour. Now, the reality is, I get it, I guess. Not, you put me into your, because not everybody comes where I come from. I want to say that the older generation had that, because a lot of my friends are very, very fucking, like Rude Dog, even Dupree. They're very successful. Very successful. I know what Dupree went through. He worked hard in school and all that shit. Same thing with Rude Dog. Rude Dog, same thing. I look at Lalo. I could relate to Lalo because we worked in the same job and that was very successful. But I know the hours he puts in, man. And the way he works, hard fucking worker. There's a lot of people in my life that I respect because of that. Because I know
also Ron.
Ron.
Ron's one of your.
But those are the people that I looked up to.
Like a brother, yeah.
Those are the people that I looked up to because they were doing what I wanted to do. And they're always looking out for me. Ron's always looking out for me. Gus, get here. This is what you're gonna make some good money.
Yeah.
Just little things like that. Always looking out for me. Always looking for the people that take care of you. That know your work ethic. That never whatever.
Yeah.
So I guess, even though I'm kind of like rolling my eyes, do what you got to do. If reading a book or.
Listen, I wish I could take out my anger and hit it in the gym, man. Those putting those excuses, instead of putting those excuses, I wish I could just hit the gym. I'll be a hot, good-looking babe, man.
You can. What is stopping you?
Myself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's bottom line. We stop ourselves.
Yeah.
We don't have the mentality to do it.
We do have the mentality to do it. We just.
Or the mindset.
The mind. Yeah. We have. It's a work in process. You have to build it.
No, this is what I gotta say.
Yeah.
Mentality and the mindset, they have to work hand in hand. It's basically the same thing. If you don't have it, you're not gonna do it. I told you the people that work at my job have a certain mentality, and that's why they do what they do. Football player, same thing. Athletes, same thing.
The discipline.
Yeah, it's a discipline. It's a mindset. Look, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, all them guys. Like I talk smack about Dupree and doing all that training he does, but it's a fucking grind. To get black belt here or do the training.
He trained for it. He put the time. I'm pretty sure he hurt something along the way.
Yeah. Look at his toes. They look ugly.
And didn't quit.
I would have quit just looking at his toes. But the reality is, going back to shit like this, is that nothing in life comes easy.
No, never. Never, ever, ever.
And even if you drop out of college, it's not going to come easier. You just got to stick with what you believe and go with it. Now, last thing. If you do go to college, the one thing I'd say, it's they put in the work. It's not easy.
No, it's not.
And then after college, guess what? You still have to work through your way up.
Yeah.
The only thing with college, what college does, it doesn't...
Open doors.
It opens doors.
Yes.
It gives you more opportunities.
Yes.
Because like myself, yes, I don't have a degree. I make a decent living, but I can't go in there and, I want to be an engineer. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Like, you? But no degree? What the fuck you know about it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You get me?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be a specialty in somewhere.
Yeah.
Make movies? I want to be a director? Working where you're working at? Come on, man. Get out of here. So bottom line is, work hard. I think mentality has to be somewhere in there.
Bottom line is work hard.
And nothing comes easy. And
that's the bottom line. You want something, you have to go get it.
You know what it is too? And I'm going to say it online right now.
What?
You can't cheat through this shit. Some people like to jump here.
You can cheat, but you will never achieve the finish line.
Yeah. There's people that cheat and they can't get it. Mm-hmm. They don't understand. They don't have the mindset. They're not going to happen. You could ask anybody, all those fucking coaches and motivational speakers. Bottom line is, you can't cheat your way through hard work. Hard work is the building blocks of all this, of success and all that shit. You got to be resilient. You got to jump through obstacles, and you got to be you got to persevere at the end if you have those obstacles.
Yeah.
Bottom line, that's it.
Yeah.
And that's the conversation we had yesterday.
Yes.
It was a deep one. So I was like,
we always have deep ones.
So we're like, hey, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
I know. I'm the one that told you, hey, this is a good podcast episode.
So that's why I record it.
I was like, the resilient episode.
Mindset. It's a mindset,
or the
resilient.
Mindset episode.
And I still don't get. I don't know. I guess when you start looking at those videos and shit, you're like, oh shit, I'm ready to go fucking punch a wall. I guess that's what a coach does. Mm-hmm. Like when you're playing football, they're like, motherfucker, is that fool gonna run you over? No, coach. Then what you gonna do about it? Well, fucking go take his head off. Okay, let's go. And, it's like a pump up thing. I guess that's what people need. I guess.
Yeah. I
guess. I used to tell you I had to pump myself up sometimes. Like, fuck, let's go. Count 1, 2, 3, like 1, 2, 3, and then I would get up from bed because before I used to get up like at 2 a.m.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually good though, because Mel Robbins, she has a book called The 5-Second Rule, and it's really good. So basically, it's rewiring your mindset of putting off things. So never think about it twice. Just do it. So you have 5 seconds. So for example, me, I'm not a morning person, right? I'm always like snooze.
I hear that shit all the time.
All the time. So she says, as soon as that alarm rings, you only have 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3. And you have to say it in your mind. 5, 4, 3, 2. As soon as you hit 1, fucking get up. The reason why is because something neurological in your brain, the window is 5 seconds before your brain starts fucking with you. Oh, another 10 minutes. Oh, another 15 minutes. Next thing you know, you're fucking 2 hours late.
You know why? Because the early bird gets the worm.
Yeah, we could end it with that.
I used to tell that. I still text Dupree 4 a.m. Early bird gets the worm. Dupree, are you up already or what? Yeah, I'm always.
Yeah, and in Spanish they say,
sorry.
El que madruga Dios te ayuda. So if you wake up early, God helps you.
Even if you're on social media, you follow The Rock, Kevin Hart, and all these guys that do all that stuff. They're up early. They're fucking up early.
Kevin Hart's book is good.
But you seen his documentary? That fuck wakes up like at 4 a.m. Same thing with The Rock, Joe Rogan. All these guys wake up fucking early. They get their workout in. They eat right. They take their kids to school. They cook fucking breakfast for the people and all that shit.
They don't take their kids to school.
No, of course not. But they wake them up. The
Rock, Kevin Hart.
They
have people doing the stuff.
Okay, but
Kevin Hart, The Rock is you in a sense, us that we're normal people.
Yeah, but have you ever heard his podcast? I mean, his interview with Joe Rogan. He talks about the stuff that he goes through, the shit that he goes through, like what he needs to do, to do what he does. He gets up. He likes to live a healthy living. He works out. He has offices in downtown LA. That's why he has to get up early and do his thing and then go to downtown LA. He has Kevin Hart.
No, here Sherman Oaks
or whatever. Didn't he? No, because I remember watching his documentary and fucking the 101 is right there.
Sherman Oaks, babe. Trust me.
I don't think so.
Yes.
Okay. Anyways, but people like that, you gotta wake up early.
Yeah. Having that said, I'm starting to work out as of tomorrow. I'm
starting to get hungry. So as of right now.
And it's almost midnight.
Yeah. So thanks, Heidi.
Oh, Gus.
Thank you for coming on the Everything Goes podcast. And I hope, guys, that you got something out of this because Gus still don't get what you need, any of that motivation. You should have it already. But you know what?
We're all built different.
Yeah, exactly. Not everybody's like me. If I was fucking the Mr. Perfect, then I would look like Mr. Perfect, and I'm not. Yeah. Yeah, but that's the reality of it.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. Like, if you really need to fucking do something, you got to look in the mirror and look at yourself and go, fuck, what's wrong with your ass? That's it.
Do you do that?
Hell yeah. When it comes to work, yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my...
That I give you.
That, yes.
The rest I don't.
Yeah, my physical appearance, I don't do it.
You don't take care of yourself.
Yeah, but I think, you know what,
you need to.
That's a thing with guys, I think, like the older generation, because we focus so much on work that we kind of don't look the part. I don't buy stuff for myself. I'd rather have my kids, but that's a conversation for another day.
Another episode, yeah.
Yes.
All right, we got to go.
Sorry, guys.
Bye, everybody.
This is Gus with the Everything Goes podcast. Remember, guys, you can catch us on the Everything Goes podcast, Stitcher, Spotify,
Apple.
Yeah, well,
iPod.
Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, but specifically Spotify if they're listening, just because of Joe Rogan. But if you're on Apple, remember, share, subscribe, leave a message, leave comments, leave a rating. It's gladly appreciated. My name is Gus. Thank you, Heidi.
Mm-hmm.
And we out. And we'll catch you guys next week.
Adios.
Peace.